Great pass. What a catch!
My goodness.
What an amazing catch from Vicki McFarland.
Highlight reel. Never say yes to the jest. That was fantastic. Sarah Talkin making a push for home. This is 400 herself. 13 strikeouts for Gabby Snyder and one of the best pitching performances we've seen this season. What a fantastic grab by Emma Burridge. She climbs the ladder and breaks it down. Round this up the middle, that's going to score a run. Bruin score two. Deep to left field. This is back, and this one is gone. It's magic from Madeline. West Beach, South Australia, 39 degrees Celsius, closing in on almost 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Wherever you're watching, it's hot all across the state. The hottest March day in 33 years, and the girls are ready to play in the Division I competition of the Adelaide City Softball Competition. It's softball brought to you by live by Statewide Super and Space Quake Sports. Eric Ballnar here, joined by Kathy Lambert and Lee Hull. You're about to see the first pitch get underway. It's the West Torrens Eagles, second place, but they do control their own destiny in terms of getting to first, versus the Port Adelaide Magpies in a crucial late season clash between the two teams. Second place and a chance to go just one win away from a championship game on the line here today. It's Port Adelaide and West Torrens. Lee, it should be a pretty great game between these two teams.
It certainly will, and haven't we got a cracker of a hot day here, Eric, here at West Beach Parks? But no surprise, it's either really hot, and Vicki McFarland's been ripped by one from Maddie Scott. So once again we see Vicki McFarland getting on the first base, and talking about McFarland, it's players like her that bring this game so much excitement.
We are watching that first batter of the game. It was Maddie Scott on the mound for West Torrens. Vicki McFarland, an import player, her second year here, one of the fastest players in the competition on base, as Gemma Letton lays down a bunt. A nice play from Kaiser, but that's thrown away. Vicki McFarland is going to dash over to third. The ball is lost in the tarp, and just like that, Vicki McFarland touches home. Gemma Letton all the way to third. This is going to be disputed a little bit by West Torrens. The umpires will converge, but Vicki McFarland using that wheels as a ball was lost in the tarp in right field. Take a look at this replay, Kathy.
Yeah, Gemma's no slouch herself, put a lot of pressure on that throw from Lana Kaiser to first, and yeah, Vicki takes every opportunity she can to get more than just one base. But yeah, the umpires are having a bit of a chat here just because the ball getting a bit lost there in that
as soon as they got stuck in there, it was a dead ball, and that runner at third, which is Gemma Letton, will go back the second, you'll find, I'm sure.
And it's an important conversation because runs really are at a premium. If you take a look at the standings right now, first off, in this competition, the top two teams will play off against each other for a chance to play in the final. Port Adelaide, sorry, Lee?
This brings out coach for the Eagles, Andrew Scott.
Yeah, Andrew Scott having to have a conversation. Things getting pretty fiery right away with the ball being dead in there, so Andrew Scott will question that. Vicki McFarland does have a run on the board. It's hot outside. That's one distraction already. You're already going to be battling with that mentally as well, too. And now you've got a controversial call pretty early on in the game. As a player, Kathy, that's got to lay pretty low in there. And they look at there. The ball clearly dead inside the tarp. They're trying to reach over and find it in there.
Where's the runner at the time, can you see?
Letton was just taking off from first when that ball was in there, so yeah, it's...
So she should be awarded a base, I believe, from when the ball is basically ruled dead, so it really depends where Letton is on that play. I don't know if we do have that replay shot based on where the runners are. It's really tough to tell, but it's going to be... I mean, you see this play a lot, even in the big leagues, a bit of controversy about where the player is at all levels of this, but...
Yeah, and to be starting like the first inning, second batter for this to be happening, it's already a heated game, I'm sure, in terms of emotions, but
and
yeah,
temperature.
And temperature. Yeah, okay, well, she's going to be staying at third.
So Rita Meyer will step out, no outs, runner on first. If Port Adelaide win, they go to second place. A huge game here. If West Torrens win, they've all but sealed up a top two spot. That is how much is on the line and how close the competition is right here. You pretty much have to play in that 1-2 game to have a chance to win the championship. Going back a number of years, the team that's one of the teams that have played in that game has gone on to win. You have to get in that game. It's hard to win from one of those quote-unquote wild card spots, as you might be referred to in a diamond sport. Rita Meyer stepping up.
Yeah, Rita just fouling off there. Yeah, agreed. And look, all the 4 teams that are in finals contention here are just, you know, can be a winner on any day. So it's going to be a tight competition to the grand final day.
She's going to chop this up, moving over towards Jordan Lambert, who will settle under that, and that's the first out of the inning. And with the catch at the shortstop, usually a very strong point, the infield for West Torrens. Lee, why don't you take us around the diamonds for West Torrens?
I will do, Eric, thank you. The battery for this game is Maddie Scott to Carly Allen, first base Kelsey Nucky second. It's Sophie Hall, and at third it's Lana Casey in the hole at shortstop, Jordan Lambert, as you've mentioned, and the outfield from left to right, Brody Borovnik, Alicia Marching, and also Faith Pickard.
Katie Sutherland Finch, the star pitcher in this competition this year. She was known for throwing that perfect game earlier in the season, but she's had quite a few strikeouts where she's in double digits. She's not far off the all-time strikeout record in a single season, so she's trying to mount up those strikeouts, and she has a chance to drive home a run and have her cause, but that's going to be dropped down low, letting off the bag, throw over to third. Did they get her? Got her!
Oh, that's a great play.
What a fantastic play. Letton caught off the bag, a great throw over to third, and Lambert tagged her out.
Yeah, let's have a look at Carly Allen. What a great block here with that, not letting that ball get anywhere nearby, and good cover on the third base there by Jordan Lambert, getting a very important out there.
Well, it is a strength, this team, that is for sure in the infield. You saw a bit of an error earlier in there and a wild throw from Kaesler over to first that the ball got trapped and they ended up scoring a run on that play, but they probably just saved a run on that one there.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's what you want to be doing with teams like this.
So the bases are clear and Sutherland Finch will chop this over towards second, and that drops in. A miscommunication between Nucky and Hoyle. And Katie Sutherland Finch goes to first, and right there, the great defensive play from a few moments earlier just saved a run.
Not sure if she actually got, yeah, look a bit like she lost in the sun there. She had it right up until the last moment and had to turn her eyes away. So that's unfortunate for Sophie, but fortunate for Katie.
Emily Catuzzo swings through that lead. 2 uncharacteristic defensive plays from a pretty solid West Torrens infield.
Obviously, as Kathy mentioned, it's the sun that affected Sophie, and Kelsey bailed out because she knew it wasn't hers.
Well, finishing top 2, the significance of that is you're playing in at least a preliminary final. You can't finish anything lower than top 3 really in the competition. If you can win this game, you're in the driver's seat to be 1 win away from playing for a championship. And Catuzzo swings through that. Maddie Scott got her to chase up. Scott just named to the junior Australian side. She leaves in a few weeks off to America to compete, and she's going right to school. Here's the pitch again, and this is chopped up in the air. And it is caught over there by Lana Kaesler, and that will do it for the inning. A bit of a drama-filled first inning, a ball that gets caught up in the tarp in the right field line, and then trademarked by that fantastic defensive play with Jordan Lambert applying the tag to get them out. But it's 1-0 Port Adelaide. Kathy, pretty intriguing first inning already.
Absolutely, everything happened in that first inning, and West Torrens, you know, that just shows the caliber of their team, is that they could have a few unfortunate things there, and that replay shows it was definitely the sun in Sophie's eyes. But a couple of unfortunate events there, and really to only be 1 run down just shows the strength of their infield.
Well, Port Adelaide is coming out defensively. Lee, in a moment, we'll get you to take us through that lineup. But West Torrens, probably that gold star standard in terms of defense in the competition. Port Adelaide, a lot of talent. They're just trying to find that defensive combination that works, though.
Certainly, and I took particular notice of the last batter, Emily Catuzzo, was very early with her swings, ×3, and so then she just popped the ball up. But she'll learn from that. So I'll take you around the diamond for the Magpies, Eric, and the battery for the Magpies, the hyphenator, Katie Sutherland Finch, pitching to Abby Mossman, and defending the dirt at first base, Emily Catuzzo, and at third base, Ella Forrester, and in the holes at second and shortstop, Jess Neves and Vicki McFarland. And the outfield, defending the green stuff, the grass, that is, Charlize Callahan, Gemma Letton and Rita Meyer.
Well,
it was interesting when, sorry, Eric, to interrupt, but it was interesting when Katie was batting. She thought she was struck out. She's moving across to go to the bench. But it was only 2 strikes. So I think maybe the heat played a bit of a part in her thinking then.
Well, I was talking to Katie a little bit before the game, and she said this will be one of the hottest games she's played in before. She did play in a game in an under-14 competition in Texas, with temperatures in Fahrenheit reaching 114, which is about 45 degrees Celsius. So she's played in this before, but she said it was not a fun experience. And today, with that sun beating down on them, and in South Australia, it seems to get hotter right around this time. So the temperature's the hottest, the tension's the highest it's been, and it's probably the hardest lineup she really has to face all season long.
And it just confirms that everything is bigger in Texas.
Jordan Lambert leads things off. It's a difficult lineup and probably somebody that's right in the running for the MVP this year of the whole competition, Team Australia player. And she swings at the first one, and that's why Jordan Lambert is aboard. It's a simple knock into left center field. And now you have the woman that leads the team in home runs, RBIs, batting average, and stolen bases aboard to put some pressure on the defense.
Yeah, what a great game she had on Wednesday night. We saw her first hit over the home run over the fence, and then backed it up with on her next at bat as well. So she definitely found some form this week, or this last couple of weeks, and what a good time of the year to be doing that, leading into the finals here. And as you said, Eric, heading to the National Fast Pitch League in America in June. So yeah, it's great that Jordan's found her form now.
Yes, she's the complete player, isn't she, Jordan? Can do everything that's required in this sport.
And she's already on second, so it puts a lot of pressure on there, and that just slips away from Sutherland Finch. And on 2 pitches, Jordan Lambert, she didn't even have to do a lot of work to get around to third. Normally you see her work for it, slide in there and do it successfully. This time it's almost a free pass around to third. So anything really in the air into the outfield could force a little bit of a play.
And Faith Picard is the player to do that. She's also having a great season. Yeah, handy with the bat, great little run around the bases, and also a great fielder. So yeah, hopefully looking to, West Torrens be hopefully looking for a score out of this batter here.
So Katie Sutherland Finch normally dominates that strike zone, is behind 3-0, and a walk, that slips by, and that's gonna score a run. So it's a 1-1 game. Just like that, Jordan Lambert advances on 3 pass balls to score a run. And Faith Picard earns a walk, so pretty uncharacteristic from Katie, but we're back to where we started. It's a tie game.
And Lana Kaiser, another power batter up on the plate now, and again, we'll be looking to push Faith Picard around.
5 straight balls here thrown by Sutherland Finch. What do you think? That could be just battling the heat maybe a little bit, just trying to find that groove?
Yeah, it could be, and obviously a little bit of pressure with the batting lineup that West Torrens have got, but yeah, it definitely would be hot out there. They're also wearing black, which, you know, on any hot day, you're going to be absorbing a lot more heat as well. So, you know, not sure, just trying to find a rhythm, or whether there's a bit of sweat on the ball as well.
And that slips away again. So it's 7 straight balls from Katie Sutherland Finch right now. And it's just coming out a little bit weird. It's either going way high or way down low. She's not just missing, she's just not quite finding that rhythm, is she?
Yeah, really. I was only just thinking as the game started, what a great job Abby Mossman's doing for such a youngster. I've seen her catch Katie the last couple of weeks, and she has been doing an amazing job. She's really been put to work here a little bit at the moment.
So it is 8 straight balls and 2 straight walks. 5 pass balls during that time, or wild pitches, or however you want to look at it. And Butch Sims is just going to go down here and have a conversation with his pitcher about what's going on right now, because it's a very uncharacteristic start here for Katie Sutherland Finch right now.
Well, I'm thinking that the first thing I'd take out there, apart from the drink bottle, is a rosin bag. Because if you're not controlling the ball, it's obviously a lot's got to do with your hand being slippery by the perspiration. So where is the rosin bag is my question.
So they'll have a bit of a conversation and slow things down. Jordan Lambert's already scored. 2 walks in the inning already. There's runners on the corner.
And for our viewers who may not be too familiar with what happens here in South Australia, but you'll notice that some of our players, or both teams, are wearing pink socks and have some pink accessories, whether it be a hat or ribbons in their hair. And that's all in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Week. And all funds raised today will be going to the Jane McGrath Foundation. And before this game, we had the annual pink tops as well from Glenelg and West Torrens, Walkerville.
So Sophie Hoyle, a big hitter in this competition as well, as runners in the corner. She was their big recruit. Much better pitch, that one clocking in about 92 kilometers an hour, but just outside the zone. And Lana Kaesler, another really good athlete on this team, gets a stolen base, so it's 2 runners in scoring position. A relentless lineup in West Torrens. If you give them a sniff, they're going to take advantage. That slips away, and that should score a run. Kaesler's going to get to third. Picard's going to score. That slips around. Kaesler dives in, and she scores all the way from second.
That's really aggressive base running. We might have a look at that on the replay as well from Kaesler. Yeah.
See that just slip away from Mossman there, and there's an easy one from Picard. She was always going to score, but that was an aggressive play. Takes a lot of guts to do that. She had a bit of a lead over at second. Here's the look at it again. And by the time it hits the backstop, Kaesler already in between bases, and there she is again. Yeah, that takes some courage, just seeing where that goes in there, and she zips one in there. Katie Sutherland Finch, the bases are clear, but she's behind 3-1.
Yeah, and she pitches it so fast, so by the time it hits the backstop, it's flying off it fairly quickly, and that's allowing opportunities for those extra runners to get in.
Well, this is quite remarkable here. It's 12 straight balls thrown from Katie Sutherland Finch and 3 straight walks.
That is very uncharacteristic. So yeah, it's something obviously happening out there. Like I said, it's probably a heat and probably just that hand slipping off that ball.
Well, Carly Allen steps up. It really doesn't get easy in this lineup. And there's a strike, and that just has to feel good. It's a little win right there, just getting the ball in there, and now you build on that. It's still 3-1, and there's still so much time, so it's not like you're out of the game by any stretch at all. So just so important, these next few batters. That one slips away once again, and Sophie Hoyle will move to second. Kelsey Nucky follows in the lineup as well.
Yeah, like you said, Eric, it just doesn't get any easier. It's just good batter after good batter, isn't it, in this West Torrens lineup?
Already a few weird things happening today. It started right in that first when that ball got stuck in the tarp in right field. Kathy, when you're competing as an athlete out in the heat, what other little, take us through, what's that like? Mentally, physically, is it any different, or do you try to make it the same? I have no idea, the athlete that I am.
Yeah, and I'm away.
And this is knocked into the outfield. Neves dives for that one. It just gets past her. And Carly Allen nonchalantly gets to first base. There's runners on the corner once again.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time since I was an athlete. However, I work with a lot of athletes and a lot of high-performance athletes. So, you know, the key is really in your break time is trying to cool yourself down, get some hydration back in you, maybe put a cool towel on your neck, just so that you can, you know, be ready to battle the conditions out there. So it's really what you can manage, which is in the break times, to get you through when you're out there.
Still no outs in the inning. Runners on the corner. Kelsey Nucky up to bat. Kelsey Nucky, one of your favorite players to watch in this competition, Lee.
Yeah, and so is the hyphenator Katie Sutherland Finch. But
so it's a good battle for you right here.
I'm starting to lose confidence a little bit here.
And Nucky grounds this through. That just gets through 2 diving port players. That's going to score another run. It's 4-1. Nucky just slides this one through.
Yeah, just looking on the statewide super replay here. Shoots a nice solid piece of that.
Just a weird spin.
Yeah, very well positioned. good attempt there by both Ella Forrester and Vicki McFarland, but it was just so well placed.
Brody Borovnik will come to the plate, and again, just taking some more time to have some drinks. So important to hydrate on a day like this. See the Eagles as well with their pink caps, joining in support of the breast cancer round going around the grounds today too. It's pretty cool driving in the parking lot, seeing everybody wear their pink as well. Our producer David Muggleton getting on board with it as well. So Brody Borovnik, she's had a few big hits this season as well. Don't slip on her, and that just slips out of Katie Sutherland Finch's hands. And we got runners on second and third. Carly Allen slides in safely, and 2 runners in scoring position, no out. The pressure is well and truly on, and Carly Allen looks like she's coming up just a bit sore here as she was sliding in.
Yeah, just taking a little bit of moment there to regroup. Let's have a look. Oh, looks like she's banged into the base. She just started her slide probably a fraction too late and just gone straight hard into that base.
Looks like one that just sort of stings when you just sort of pinch a nerve there or something like that as well. So you just almost got to walk it off a little bit.
Yeah, Brody Borovnik had a great game on Wednesday night. She went 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, all hitting the same spot, interestingly enough, just short of the center fielder.
She's really coming into form, because a couple weeks ago as well on the Spacequake game, she had a bases clearing triple with bases loaded. She's really starting to drive the ball.
Yeah, she's definitely been known as a really good hitter for this team.
Lee, what do you like about Brody Borovnik?
Consistent. She's been given the chance this season, and she's repaying the faith. Can hit the ball hard and flat.
4-1 game right now. Drops down low once again, struggling to find the strike zone is Sutherland Finch. Another thing that goes out there too is the longer Port Adelaide are out defensively, the harder it gets in this heat. They've been out there for nearly 15 minutes now defensively. That can't be easy at all.
And Katie's pitched a lot of pitches out there as well. So yeah, it's going to make it really hard for them.
And the bases are loaded. 4-1 with no outs here in the first inning.
Well, at that stage, catcher correction, Abby Mossman didn't know where the ball was, and that's when you're infield, especially first base, and the pitcher in this case, let them know where the ball is. She was running around looking for it. Fortunately, it wasn't Jordan Lambert running from third. Otherwise, that would have been the 5th run.
There's a good pitch right there. She's ahead of 1. Alicia Marchink to the plate. A chance to bust this game open early. It's 4-1, and West Torrens' defense is solid, and Maddie Scott on the mound for West Torrens. She's at an ERA hovering around that 2 mark all season. She's one of the most consistent pitchers there is. You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, she's had a really great season, that could be a sign of that just really slipping the hand.
Yeah, it slips the hand. It's illegal. It's going to be called a balk, and that's going to score a run. So that just slipped out of her hand, and the 2 runners get a free bag. So it's runners on second and third. Yeah, that's if there is ever a moment right there that sort of sums it up how it's going right now, it's probably that. And that slips away as well too. Runner will hold at third. Runners on second and third, no out. Marching to the plate. 5-1 West Torrens right now.
Yeah, what a really unusual inning, as you said. Starting off with the dead ball and the lack of sun catch by Sophie Hall in the first inning with West Torrens, and then seeing what we're seeing. And we're at the bottom of the lineup here. Jackie Beale over on the left-hand box.
She's batting for the pitcher, Maddie Scott. Unusual not to see Maddie bat, but this is the strength of the West Torrens team. It's a matter of who to leave out.
Well, we've seen a perfect inning that Katie Sutherland Finch has thrown before. It's 9 strikes thrown and 3 strikeouts. You can't get any better than that in terms of a pitcher. They don't make contact, but if Jackie Beale gets on base, that's the first 9 batters of the game in the first inning to get aboard. We'd go right back to the top with Jordan Lambert. Runner advances over to second, so it's second and third, 6-1 game, 25 minutes in, and we're not out of the first.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's a stat that Katie would have ever experienced before, if it happens, but yeah, very unusual.
Well, it's certainly an anomaly in the season for Katie Sutherland Finch. She has been the premier pitcher in the competition all season long. Port Adelaide has allowed the least amount of runs in the competition as well. Heading into the game, or the second least, but with 2 games in hand, they'd allowed 44 in 21, and Walkerville had allowed 35 in 23. So they don't allow much, Port Adelaide, at all. Well, the count is full. 6-1 game. Can they get out number 1 right here? Jackie Beal to the plate. And she chops at that one. It's grounded over to third and just bobbled by Ella Forster. She'll just hold on, and the bases are loaded. So it's 9 up, 9 on for West Torrens to start it. And here in the first inning, everybody's going to get a second at bat with no outs. And just nothing quite going right for Port Adelaide in this inning. They started off with a huge break with that ball getting caught on the tarp in the first inning. And karma has come back in spades for this team.
Spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts, whatever you like to call it. Is anything else can go. Illegal pitch, the ball gets away from the pitcher. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Error, illegal hits, base hits, walks, just nothing going right now. And that hits the plate. That was so unlucky. That ball was in the dirt, but it dropped right on top of the plate. And had that just been in the dirt, it would have been an easy block and nothing would have stayed the same. But because it hits the plate, it just bounces away. And now Katie Sutherland Finch having another visit. It's a 7-1 game.
And it bounced up.
And another drinks break.
The pitch itself bounced up and hit umpire Wallace Yarrow, who's on plate today. And while we're talking about umpires, at first base it's Ian One Shade of Grey, and at third base it's Damien Baby Blue McCauley.
Well, a pretty stunning performance and just pretty dumbfounding what's going on right now. Katie Sutherland Finch leaves the game. She faces 9 batters. There's 6 walks, 7 runs, and it's a 7-1 game. Something just not quite right today from who really has been the best pitcher this season in the competition.
So it looks like for the first time that I can recall this season, we've got a change of pitcher for Port Adelaide. I believe Katie has pitched every batter for Port Adelaide up to this point. So we've got Taylor Chillingworth.
It's Taylor Chillingworth, and this is her first appearance, I would think, in A grade, let alone in the pitching position.
And still no outs in the competition. So she comes into a game down 7-1 with bases loaded. So there has not been a substitution, I believe. This stat's correct. This is the first substitution, pitching-wise, that Port Adelaide have had all season. A weird day at the ballpark.
I just got a little bit of information on Taylor Chillingworth. She is actually only under 15. She's just made the Aussie under 15 squad.
Well,
so,
Taylor Chillingworth, welcome to the competition. Your first batter is Australian national team player Jordan Lambert, and the bases are loaded. Have some fun.
Have some fun. And look at how tall she is for a youngster. Sorry, Lee.
So you're welcome. It's a couple of positional changes there. Vicki McFarland goes out to a normal playing position, centre field, and brings in Gemma Letton at shortstop. Thank you, Kath.
Well, this inning has gone on for 22 minutes now. 23 minutes, sorry.
Well, maybe having chilly pitch might bring the temperature down somewhere. They need it with the Magpies at the moment.
And a great start by Taylor. She's had her first.
And this is grounded over towards third, picked up by Forster, throw to first, and that is just outstretched there. Lambert will move to second, 2 runs will score. So that will be marked as an error. Good pickup by Forster, but just thrown away. So it puts a runner on second and nobody else. So how about this? Every single player in the in the batting lineup has scored a run for Port Adelaide. The first 9 up have scored for West Torrens, in this game. 9 up, 9 scored.
And it looked like to me as if third base Ella was just trying to guide the ball then instead of just letting her arm go through. She'll learn. She's only a young person.
Faith Picard steps back up, throws it for a strike. An uncharacteristic game too, because the other games between these two teams have been unbelievable. West Torrens won 2-1, Port Adelaide won 3-0, and then West Torrens won a thriller 6-4. So the games between these two teams, don't let this deceive you. They're separated by 2 points in the standings, and all their games, if you go by run differential between them, they're even on the season before this. We had every expectation this would be a 2-1, 3-2 game.
Absolutely, and yeah, as I said, something really unique.
Faith Picard rips one, and there's a nice play. Gemma Letton throwing a second, and they got her in a double play. Lambert picked off the bag as well, and that is a highlight reel play. And there's your first 2 outs for Chillingworth as well in the competition.
And maybe Vicki McFarland was being playing out of position by the look of that. I doubt it.
Yeah, what a great play. Great double play.
That was a highlight reel play, and it gets the first 2 outs. So now nobody on, 2 outs, but it is 9-1. And Faith Picard, she ripped that, by the way.
Yeah, hard and high, and a great play by Gemma Letton, and good heads up just to get it straight back to second.
Kaesler lines this over to first, so we played 25 minutes with no outs at 9 runs, and all 3 outs just happened in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, as you said in the beginning, welcome to the competition, Taylor, and didn't she do a great job in her first opportunity?
How strange is that, though? It just no outs for 25 and then 3 and 30. I can't believe that. But either way, 9-1, the first 9 batters in this game for West Torrens score with no outs. It's 9-1. I don't even know where to start unpacking what we've just seen.
Yeah, I don't think you can even explain it. It was just so unusual. It's just one of those anomalies, if that's the way to say it, but really unusual, and probably doubt we will ever see anything like that again.
Sometimes in this world, just for a brief moment of time, some really strange things happen and they just keep piling on and piling on. We just watched a very strange 30 minutes, a long inning in the heat. They can retire to, well, it's just a hot box, to be honest, in those dugouts. It doesn't make it any easier, but we're back at it, and it is into the second inning we go. It's a 9-1 game. And
we've spoken about this before to both of you, that this game, you just never know. You come to a game, you're expecting, as Eric has mentioned, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, but 9-1, no. You could have write a book about that.
I mean, how many games of softball have you watched this year, Lee? And something new seems to happen every few games in this sport, and that's why we keep coming back.
And that's right, and that's what adds to the pleasure of watching softball. Explosive game, anything could happen. It has, and it did.
Well, it's 9-1, and Talia George will come up to bat. Maddie Scott had that first run allowed of the game on a very strange play with Gemma Letton in the first inning. It feels like ages ago now.
Not too hard to pitch here now when you've got 8 in the bank.
Swing through this one, and a good pitch from Maddie Scott. It'll be very interesting to see how she develops when she goes overseas to university as well, too.
Have we had any, have we got any information on where she's going yet?
Yeah, she's going to school in Texas. And I forget the school that it's called, but yeah, she's going to a college in Texas, and she leaves, and right after she'll go and play and represent Australia at the Junior Worlds, and then she will go right to school. And this is chopped over towards second. That is as easy as it gets for Jordan Lambert at short. She doesn't make too many mistakes over at that position, and that's the first out. Well, Jess Neves Try to get on base here. Ella Forrester due up as well too. Neves moved back to Port Adelaide this year after a little bit of a detour in her softball career at Glenelg, but you're a big fan of Jess Neves and the way she plays.
I certainly am. I love her attitude, and give me players with attitude, you can soon teach them the skills and the finer points of the game. And both her and Ella Forrester on the game on Wednesday night on Diamond 2, both cracked the ball well. This will be a good time to back that up.
Yeah, she plays the game well. She's got you're right, she does have a good attitude. And, you know, it's that old saying, there's no such thing as good days or bad days. There's only such thing as attitude.
And really small strike zone, which she takes advantage of.
Well, you have to work with the toolbox that's given to you. And she pops this up. She got a hold of it, just a little bit under it, moving. Underneath that is Lana Kaesler, and that's 2 up, 2 down quite quickly here for the West Torrens defense, who just look a whole lot more relaxed. It seemed like it was a bit more tense to start it, and now Ella Forrester comes to the plate. Another young player that's really found her way on the Port Adelaide side this year.
Yeah, she's only just out of under 15s the last couple of years, and she was really impressive. I was one of the assistant coaches in the year that she was playing with the under 15s, and so coachable, and you know, really keen to learn. And I wasn't surprised that she made a quick rise up to the A grade after her under 15 years.
And what are her strong points in her game?
Just one of the most important thing is that she's coachable. Like, she wants to learn, she wants to hear how to get better, and you know, you can take I'm certainly not saying this is Ella, but you can take a mediocre player who wants to be coached and make him a great player, rather than a player who's got heaps of talent who doesn't want to coach, doesn't want to be coached. So you're definitely willing to learn. Good. She was playing outfield in the under 15s, so good catch of the ball, but strong batter as well.
And Lee, as a coach, you would have to love to hear that, knowing that someone's willing to learn and work hard.
Well, doesn't it make life easier as a coach? It certainly does, and she obviously is a very quick learner.
Playing third base right now for Port Adelaide.
Tough position to play.
Swings through that one, a foul tip back there, and it's the second strike. So Maddie Scott yet to record a strikeout in this inning in this game so far.
We haven't seen a lot of the Port batters so far in the innings and a half at the moment, but they all seem to be swinging a lot earlier.
Swing and a miss on that one, and there it is, Lee. So Maddie Scott gets them 1, 2, 3, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. It's 9-1, and we're in the bottom of the second, which means we are 3 outs away from finding out who this week's statewide Super Junior Player of the Week will be. That's in just 3 outs from now. Kathy will bring us an exclusive interview with this winner, so it'll be very exciting very soon.
5-minute heat break.
Oh, there's a 5-minute heat break. So let's just do it right now. It is hot out there. They deserve a break, and you deserve to know who the statewide Super Junior Player of the Week is. So over to you, Kathy.
All right, well, I'm really excited to announce that this week's statewide Super Junior Player of the Week is Briley Rosling from Port Adelaide. So Briley, tell us a little bit about yourself. How old are you?
I'm 11.
11 years old. And how long have you been playing softball?
Only 2 years.
Only 2 years. What positions do you play?
Mostly catcher, but sometimes I play shortstop.
And do you have a favorite?
Pitcher.
Pitcher. So you play pitcher as well?
Yeah.
Multi-talented. It's really important when you're young to keep playing lots of different positions. That's really great to hear. So who's your coach?
Katie and KB.
Katie and KB. And is that with an under 11 side or an under 15 side?
Under 13.
Under 13 side. And who's your favorite player?
From A grade?
From any grade?
Probably Katie, Vicki, and Linny.
So Katie Sutherland Finch, Vicki McFarland, and who's Linny?
She's one of the coaches.
Ah, great. And so what do you love most about softball?
All the people in our team, because they're so nice, and just playing softball.
Awesome. And Port Adelaide states that you are a great teammate, you always attend training, and you fill in for the other under 13 teams when required. And they're really confident that you're going to have a really big future at their club. So congratulations this week on being the statewide Super Junior Player of the Week, Briley, and I'd like to present you with a Rising Star certificate. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. The statewide Super Player of the Week, the Junior Player of the Week. That's a pretty cool honor to have. There's been a lot of pretty cool stories that we've learned about, and big rising stars there, and great to hear that there's a few role models of the players that come over to this community, like Katie Sutherland Finch, like Vicki McFarland, who can set that great example. But in this game, as we're in the middle of a heat break, it has just been a bit of a weird one. We will recap that for you. First inning, Vicki McFarland, she goes hit by a pitch. Maddie Scott, she doesn't usually hit batters, and so that was the first sign that maybe things were to come. The very next batter, Gemma Latin, batted one down the right field line, and it got caught up in a tarp on the right field line. They couldn't find where it was. Or it wasn't a bat down the line, it was a butt down the line. It was throw over to first. They missed the play, got stuck in a tarp, and Jim Letton went all the way around to third eventually, and Vicki McFarland scored. Some contentious issues. West Torrens didn't like that too much. They did make a fantastic play to pick off Letton, with Jordan Lambert showing why she's on the Australian side. And that was the first half of the inning, and we thought we were in for a close doozy. And then Katie Sutherland Finch, who's been the best pitcher arguably in the competition this season, one of the best we've seen in a number of years here, didn't get anybody out in the 9 batters that she faced. All of the 9 scored. She walked 6, and West Torrens up 9-1 after 1, and we stand going to the bottom of the second in a weird day that's 40 degrees and in the middle of a drinks break.
Yeah, and Eric, further to that, I think the tail of the tarp was this, that West Torrens decided they weren't happy with the decision, and we'll take it out on them when we bat, which they did.
Yeah, everybody has scored so far, and this lineup really is deep. They can hurt you anywhere. Sophie Hoyle, Carly Allen, and Kelsey Nucky will be due up as well as we start the second, but they do have an 8-run cushion as we're in the middle of a 5-minute drinks break. It's really important that everybody gets hydrated. I do not believe this counts in the timed game of it. It's just a sort of a 5-minute pause on it, which is, I guess, pretty good news if you're Port Adelaide looking for more time to come back, but I don't think time's their worry. It's getting some runs on the board.
Yeah, and the 3 batters coming up, Sophie got on walk on her first time at bat. Carly Allen hit a single out to 9, and Kelsey hit a single out to 7. So, some good quality batters coming up.
Well, the batting continues, doesn't it, with the Eagles? It's such a strong batting lineup, as well as defensively. But I see Porter making a change. When they come on the field, it's going to be Ella Forrester having the breather, and Maddie Magpies, who's played a lot of the season at third base, is coming into the game.
And just to give you a little more on the new pitcher, Taylor Chillingworth, who did a great job at her first in her debut. But both Taylor and another Port young player, Charlize Callahan, who's playing in the left field today, both made the Aussie under-15 squad, and they'll be playing in the Friendship Series in July this year up in Brisbane. So congratulations to those girls. We had quite a few South Australians who made that team. I'll find out exactly the rest of them soon, but I believe there was about 5 or 6 girls. So and 1 boy who made the under-15 boys team. So congratulations to all of our juniors here at Softball SA. Some really good stuff happening in those juniors.
One pitch at a time, isn't that the simple answer? And build from there. We seem to have a lot of colours. I'm not quite sure whether I ought to be playing in black today though, but the colours around the diamond with the umpires, we have 1 shade of grey at first, we have baby blue at third, and 1 shade of red in the face on the plate. That's because he's wearing all the equipment, umpire Wallace Yarrow, and it must be really hot out there for the plate umpire.
Well, Sophie Hoyle will reset this game here in the bottom of the second. The game started at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and we're looking at 4:45, and we're down here in the bottom of the second. Pace of a baseball game here in what's normally a very quick, fast-paced, good competition here. And that slips away, and an easy ball to take there for Sophie Hoyle. Big move for her to move over to the club this year, and this is the time of the year that they're hoping she pays the difference. That's why you bring her over, for championship moments.
Yeah, she knew something, this could be the chance. You know, they've been runner-up a couple of times, the Eagles. Is this their year?
Again, not having to do too much, they take that ball, 2-0 count.
And she picks up another walk.
So she's done that twice today, Sophie. And West Torrens will head right back to the base paths. And she moves under that one swiftly, and that's the first out of the inning. So a little less pressure already on them this inning than there were to start the last one, but Kelsey Nucky, Brody Borownik, two pretty good hitters.
Well, I thought it was Rita Meyer's catch, but when you've got Vicki McFarland calling out to you, you just step aside and let her take charge.
She's so quick off the mark. She can just get to cover so much in the outfield that, you know, any average outfielder, you know, would have to let drop. So she's so dynamic and exciting to watch, really in any position.
And an important part of those teams that have represented South Australia at the national championships the last 2 years, and have been some of the best performances we've seen from those teams.
Absolutely, and I haven't spoken to her yet, but gee, I hope she's planning on coming back again next year.
Kelsey Nucky seems to always be on that team of the year at first. She can back it up with a bat as well too. And she swings at that one, that just rolls over, and Taylor picks that up, throws it over to first. So well done there. Runner advances over to second, with Brody Borownik coming to the plate, an opportunity to take some of the pressure off and get out of an inning early.
I think Taylor Chillingworth thinking, how easy is this game?
Yeah, she's done a great job since she's been in, retired well, except for one, two, three, out of the last 6 batters, she's retired.
Yeah, 5. Lambert got on, but then they had a nice defensive play to get her out. But they got Lambert, Picard, Kaesler, Allen, and Nucky out. 5 of the biggest 6 in the competition. So that's a pretty good way to ease your way in here.
Yeah, she'll remember this day.
Takes a weird bounce in the dirt. Everything's just going to be a little bit harder today when it's a bit more dry too, isn't it?
Certainly is. But she's been impressive, but this is what happens when you pitch to strong, hard-hitting batters like Borownik. They'll be early on you, so expect left field to be in the action shortly.
And she chops this one foul, just a little bit late on that one. It's the grandstand off behind us, so gets a strike on her there. It's a 1-2 count. And again, that just slips out of her hand and drops down low, so Sophie Hoyle can walk over to third base, and just a base hit's going to score Sophie and push it to double digits for West Torrens. Well, Brody Borownik hits this one, and that finds its way into the outfield. It's a hit for Brody Borownik. She keeps her strong form going, and that's going to score another run. It's 10-1, so another RBI from Brody Borownik. What a last couple weeks she has had. Now, if you didn't need any more weapons if you're West Torrens, now you've got another player who keeps moving her way up the lineup with some of the best stars in the game. How much confidence would she be rolling with?
She would have to. That would probably be, out of the last 6 at-bats that she's had, she would have had hits on, well, all 5 of them and a walk. So she's done a really good job. But yeah, coming in with heaps of confidence again, leading into the finals, a lot like a lot of the batters in the lineup. So puts a lot of pressure on the pitchers.
But just again, as if you need another weapon in that lineup. But it's sort of hard, even if she hits fine form, who's she going to replace in any of the people above her in the lineup? but she certainly looks like she cemented her spot going into that final season. So
yeah, she sees the ball really well.
Well, Marchink will step in as well. She can drive the ball when she can too. Try to frame one on the outside. 2-1 count. Well, a swing and a miss on that one, so it's a 2-2 count. Chillingworth trying to get out of the inning, just allowing the 1 run.
Outfield far, FAR too deep for this batter.
Well, it'll be another walk for the Port Adelaide battery there, and 2 runners go on here. Almost an hour in, and we're not through 2.
That's a lot of time out in that sun for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, it just drains on you.
Jackie Beal got on the first time with an error by the 3rd base.
And again, chop foul, so good battle here, developing with Jackie Beal.
Well, that's what you got to do with this right-hander batting left-handed, is just get her to hit the ball to your infield. So don't give her anything away from her where she can free her arms. Just make her hit the ball to second base or first base fielder. A bit hard on the pitch like that.
That's a great pickup by Abby Mossman there.
Well, she's going to slow roll this one over to Chillingworth. Picks this up, throw to first. It's just going to be a little bit late, and the bases will be loaded. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Aussie star Jordan Lambert. A chance to crack it open here. And she started showing us her power of late as well, too.
Yeah, she's going to have to just keep cool and calm in there, not let the moment get away from her here.
And this is frustrating for top batters, the good hitters, consistent hitters. They do not like the ball not coming onto them.
Well, Kathy, you get a first-hand look at Jordan Lambert around the clock, really, here. Some good insights, maybe a little bit biased, but what makes Jordan Lambert Jordan Lambert?
Well, she came out exactly the way she is now. That's how she came out. She entered the world ready to play sport and being quite good at picking things up very quickly, but she's absolutely passionate about her sport. She loves it, and she's also passionate about being a better version of herself. That was a huge
She had a crack on that one and missed it by a bit, but it's a 1-2 count. Can't blame her for having a crack, though.
Absolutely not. Yeah, so no, she works very hard at it. She trains a lot. She studies the game a lot. Yeah, she's a student of the game, and that's her gift.
Well, she's just gets this one through the infield, and she's going to add another RBI to her name. It's an RBI single as that splits the gap and gets to the outfield and scores Brody Borovnik, and it is an 11-1 game. Bases remain loaded for Faith Picard. So another RBI to her team-leading RBIs. She leads the team in hits, in RBIs, in home runs, in batting average, in steals. What else?
Well, I believe the father was a terrific batter in another lifetime.
Batter? I don't think he knew the game of softball until he came into my life. He was definitely a great AFL football player and tennis player.
It's the thought that counts.
He's the true left-handed player with a left-handed glove, and Jordan's a left-hander but plays right-handed. So, yeah, they have interesting battles together.
Faith Picard turning into one of those stars, maybe following in the footsteps of Jordan Lambert. She has really picked it up from her rookie season to now, where she is just showing that power like she can right now. That gets to the outfield, and it's just going to keep on rolling. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, and Lambert easily scores. It's a bases clearing 3 RBI double for Faith Picard. And this is being a pretty impressive performance from West Torrens.
Absolutely, and how exciting is Faith Picard? As you were saying, you're like a young player who's come on the scene in the last couple of years and just dominates that position here with these West Torrens Eagles.
Well,
Have you got that change? 1 to 8.
Well, Vicki McFarland, I have never seen her pitch.
So Vicki McFarland is coming in to pitch. What is happening here at West Beach today? And for the 2nd straight inning to start the game, every single batter in the lineup will have an at-bat. This will be batter number 9 in the lineup for West Torrens here, and Vicki McFarland with a big smile on her face. Well, let's be honest, it's 14-1 right now. You're going against one of the best players in the competition. We're not going to have a conversation about a comeback. Anything's possible, but now it's about having a little bit of fun, and it's pretty fun to have Vicki McFarland come in there, and you can see the smile on her face and the smile on her teammates' faces as well, too, that even when things aren't going right, Port Adelaide, great sense of team in this group, as you can tell, they're just having a lot of fun.
You know, don't be surprised if when the game actually starts, Vicki can actually pitch, because look, she can just do everything. You know, she is the package as well in this softball game, and who knows? I've seen her catch. Last year she did a little bit of catching when she first came out, but wouldn't be surprised if she gets that ball over the plate. Well,
attitude is everything, and Vicki McFarland does have a great attitude towards the game, and there's no doubt that this will be one of the toughest moments of the season for Port Adelaide, but it's going to be about how these girls rally together, keep that positive attitude, and figure something out going into the finals, and maybe something like this galvanizes the group once again, as Vicki McFarland, with a bit of a crowd gathering around too, comes to watch, and she throws a first pitch strike with a huge cheer and a huge laugh from Vicki on the mound. That's fantastic.
I tell you what, if she strikes somebody out, she's going to be unbearable, really.
No, not Vicki.
Well, Lana Kaesler up to bat, and then Sophie Hoyle as well, too. Don't forget that the 3 of them are actually pretty good mates as well, too, and they play on the state team together, so pretty cool moment for Vicki McFarland, and some bragging rights, and maybe a couple little extras on the line here between the two. Drops down low, so she is behind 3-1.
Well, she's got variety, 3 of them up and another one in the dirt.
Well, that zipped in there at 64 kilometers an hour.
Well, look, if anything, like we were saying on Wednesday night, you know, maybe the complete change of pace will be enough to get a few unusual strikeouts.
Well, Sophie Hoyle comes to the plate. Well, it's all a bit of fun here. It's a 13-run game, though.
I've got a feeling if one's up, it's going over to the doghouse.
And both the runners are going to advance. Well, the run rule here, just as an FYI, is 15 after 3. We're just in the 2nd, and 10 after 4. West Torrens up 13 in the 2nd, an hour into the game. Here's the pitch, and Hoyle swings at this one, and that just off letting a little bit. She touches, throws it over to first, and she's safe. So it's another run. Sophie Hoyle with an infield hit will score Faith Picard, and it's an RBI for Sophie Hoyle in her 2nd at-bat of the inning, and now Carly Allen will come up, the 11th batter of the inning.
Yeah, you would not have read about this. You couldn't have predicted this. Nobody, if you would have talked about the West Torrens Port Adelaide matchup today, not even Lee could have predicted this blowout.
Now, Lee is a bit known for being a bit of a guru when it comes to predicting some games, but Lee, you didn't see this coming, surely not.
No, but I think that both teams have come to an amicable agreement. Let's get out of this game and get off and have a shower, or at least get a few frothies. Isn't that the terminology, I believe?
number 7.
Well, catcher rule coming in, so great. Jordan Lambert, if you're from Port Adelaide perspective, you're thinking, yeah, great. Jordan Lambert back on the base pass.
That's all you need.
Well, Kelsey Nucky try to drive one past Vicki here.
Another long inning out there for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, this one's running up about 20 minutes as well, too. It's not easy, is it?
No, it's got to be hot out there for them. The sun is just beaming right down, and I can see the outfielders with their gloves up around their foreheads, trying to minimize that sun right in their eyes.
Well, we're here in the second. To put this into perspective, through 2 innings, Port Adelaide has had 8 batters in the game. This is batter number 23 for West. No, more than that. It is batter number 11, batter number 24?
24.
This is batter number 24 in the game, in the second inning. 15 runs on the board. West Torrens will undoubtedly move within 1 point of the leading Walkerville Cats, but they do have a game in hand. They also have pretty much sealed that Port Adelaide won't be able to catch them. Entering the game, Port Adelaide actually had an advantage. The first tiebreaker is runs allowed, and West Torrens had allowed 49, and Port Adelaide had allowed 44. So now West Torrens have allowed 50, but Port Adelaide, have allowed 59 and counting, and it's 2 games, or there'd have to be a differential of 9 in there. This all but really would seal a top 2 spot for West Torrens. They clinch it over, as though they're going to walk in a run here. They have clinched it with a win here today over Sturt, because Sturt only has 1 game left, and they're 3 points behind. So unless something remarkable happens, West Torrens will be playing in that 1-2 game, likely versus Walkerville, and there has not been a winner that I can remember that has come outside of that 1-2 game. If you finish first or second, you're probably going to win.
We've got a pitching change here, so Vicki McFarland is coming out, and
Tarasenko.
It's Larissa Tarasenko.
Oh, tell us a little bit about Larissa Lee.
And the next one's going to be Linny Callahan, I believe, as we're going through them all.
And then you might be up,
Larissa
Kathy.
used to play for West Torrens, and now she finds herself out at Port. Very enthusiastic, plays B grade, I think, mainly, but she's been on the A grade bench a few times. So strong lass, she should be able to hit the ball. And Georgia Murphy's coming into the game as well.
Well, 61.
I think Georgia might be delivering some drinks and cold compress towels.
So knowing that there is heat in effect, it's 39 degrees Celsius out there. The run rule is 15 after 3. Is there any chance they call it after 2, given that it's 15 runs and we're an hour into the game?
And Georgia Murphy's not coming into the game. She's running drinks, which is probably just as hot.
Eric, in answer to your question, I would probably think not.
Right fielder Rita Meyer is asking when she's coming off for a break. The answer was in the negative.
So Carly Allen, who is taken out of the game because it's the run rule, and Kelsey Nucky in first. If these 2 runners can score, all 9 batters will have scored in both innings if we can score these 2 things, which I've never really seen all 9 score in 1 inning before, let alone do it in 2 innings in the same game back to back. So it could be 9, all 9 in the first, all 9 in the second,
Wow.
could all score. But Brody Borovnik's going to have to drive one here to move Kelsey Nucky around from first to home. There's still a long way to go, but that would be another crazy stat to see today.
What a strange day it's been. And you know, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Brody. We've talked about it already. Good stats on Wednesday night. Great stats again here today.
Bases loaded. She's cleared him a couple weeks ago. A game versus Glen Elgin. She swings at that one, and will this slip through? And a great diving play from Neves, and a flick to second. It's a highlight play from Jess Neves to get out of the inning. A big smile on the face. So Brody Borubnik robbed of an RBI in a really nice play. So that'll end the inning. It's 16-1 after 2 innings.
That was an awesome play by Jess. She can always pull something really, really exciting each season. And we saw one of her plays on the highlight reel last year, where she was basically horizontal diving for a catch. And here she goes again. So good on her, and yeah, timely to get that out there.
Well, just call her prime time, because whenever she's on TV, she makes something happen.
I'll tell you what, most coaches like consistent hitting. And so 9 in 1 innings, followed up by 7. I think that qualifies.
Well, it's here's a weird one for you. I guess we've had 16 different runs. 7 players on West Torrens have already scored twice. We've had 27 batters for West Torrens through 2. Meanwhile, West Torrens haven't got through the lineup once.
Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide haven't got through the lineup once.
No,
Sorry.
they're not. So, no, coming up to number 9 batter, Charlize Callahan. Spoke about Charlize before, an under-15 player who has just been announced in the Aussie squad, along with Taylor Chillingworth, who we saw pitching for Port Adelaide in the middle there. And there's, as I was saying before, there's a good contingent of under-15. So the other ones that have also been named in the Aussie squad: Amelia Dolphin, Ruby Fidge, Georgia Hooper, Abby Jorgensen, Georgia King, and Chloe Slee. So congratulations to all those girls.
So if Port Adelaide don't score a run this inning, it's over. They will end the game. It'll be 15 after 3. So West Torrens are 3 clean outs away from walking away 16-1 winners in a 2 1/3 contest. But they got to get through the 3 first, because it's tough. I mean, you do have Vicki McFarland coming up as well too. So a bit of speed. She's already scored. Or so it looks like Tarasenko. She came in for Vicki McFarland. That's right. So McFarland won't be batting. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. Swing and a miss. Well, be careful whatever you're doing tonight, wherever you are in the evening, because there's been weird things going on in the world today. Don't want anything strange to happen. And a good pitch there from Maddie Scott. It's her 2nd straight strikeout. And out number 1 in the inning.
And Lee, who have we got coming up in our last game for today?
It's Sturt and Seacombe.
Sturt's last game of the year.
Yep, Sturt's last game of the year. And after that game, we have a break next weekend, because it's the Junior State Championships at Berry. And then we're back for the final. So where did that time go? After Christmas, we turn the corner and we're looking...
Win a silver medal.
Yeah.
Then we start competition again.
Yeah, we do.
See a few home runs. See this weird game as this is chopped up. Moving underneath, this is Maddie Scott. She brings it in.
Great team effort underneath her. Did you see all those just tipping down just in case it tipped her glove? What a
we'll
great
play it up.
effort.
She keeps the no-hitter alive through 2 2/3.
And let's start talking about well done. Statewide player of the game here. Any thoughts, Lee and Eric?
Wow.
Could be one of the batters, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to Faith Picard. She had that bases clearing triple. That was pretty impressive. I mean, it's sort of hard. Like, you do feel bad in that first inning. I mean, just Katie was off. Something wasn't quite right. This is so uncharacteristic. It's an anomaly. You almost wish you could just eliminate it from the records, because it really doesn't reflect the kind of pitcher and player she is. And there were a lot of walks in there. So, I mean, you hate to say it, but it was fairly easy for West Torrens in that first inning. But Faith Picard, she had that big double, which really busted it open later on. Brody Borubnik had a walk and a big hit, and then was robbed of the defensive play. Remember when Faith Picard got out in the second at-bat in the first inning, it was one that she ripped over to shortstop. That was just a really nice play. So she saw the ball well, drove the ball well, and I'm going to give it to Faith Picard. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going there. Everyone out. Look, everybody batted well. Lots of singles from the West Torrens side, but Faith, yeah, definitely a big double out there, which drove a few runs in. So I agree, she's definitely my pick for the game.
We'll hear Lee in a moment here as this one's driven out towards center field, and Rita Meyer has dropped this one above marching. She's rounding second, she's going to third, and she's going to be held up there. So it's a triple.
Or even Gemma Letton.
It's for even Gemma Letton. I apologize to Gemma Letton, and you're welcome, Rita Meyer, for giving you some credit for a hit that you didn't. But Gemma Letton drives one around. It's a triple, so you never know. This game could be extended right here. But Lee, just in case it's not, who's your statewide super player of the game?
I think it's out of Jordan or Faith, and I think Pickard, and I've got faith in the number 30 for the Eagles, and I think it's her.
Well, 2-1 right there. Here you go, though. It's Rita Meyer now up to bat. She can drive it in. She'll extend the game and keep Port Adelaide's hopes alive.
Didn't Alicia Marchand get the shock of her life when that went sailing?
That was rocketed, wasn't it? That was a good hit from Gemma Letton.
And, you know, Gemma can run, so, you know, potentially could have been a double for someone else, but, yeah, once she hit it, she was gone.
Gemma Letton had that really nice play at shortstop as well when it was Faith Pickard that lined that over in the second inning.
She's got a very good, sorry, Eric, she's got a very good future, Gemma.
Just up high, 2-1 count.
Well, she needs to stay off the base here a bit longer and force Carly to throw around the batter.
Well, West Torrens all but securing a spot in the top 2 today. It's a big achievement for the team here. Top 2 teams play off against each other. The winner goes straight to the grand final. The loser plays the winner of the 3 versus 4 game. If you're in that 3 versus 4 game, you have to beat 3 very, very good teams in a row. You got to be on for about 10 days there playing. It's tough to do. That's why nobody's won it in a while from that spot. This is the line down there. It's another strike. Lee, who do West Torrens and Port have next? Do we know?
I've probably got it in my bag there, Eric, but thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You're welcome, anytime.
I do know that West Torrens' last 2 games are Hills and Seacombe. I'm not actually sure the order there, but those are the 2 teams that they're playing next.
This is hit down the line, and it's foul once again. So, Rita Meyer not making it easy for Maddie Scott and West Torrens here. They're wanting to go out there and defend in the 39-degree heat one more time. Chopped up foul once again, so we're into, in a moment here, pitch number 8 in this at-bat.
Main thing for Rita Meyer here is not to overthink it too much. Just make good contact. The start of the season, the first 10 games, I think she was way up there with the batting.
Can we go to a 9? What a great battle.
Yes, it is, and you can see what I mean, Eric, about when the pace is off the pitch, batters like this, pull the ball, pull the ball, pull the ball. More patience.
This is chopped up the middle. Lambert grabs it, throw to first. And it's a great play from Jordan Lambert to zip it over to first. That will end it in the run rule. 15 runs here at the top of the 3rd. West Torrens make a big statement with a big 16-1 game. We'll wrap it up quick. Final thoughts, Kathy Lambert.
Final thoughts, yeah, look out West Torrens as they come into the finals. They're going to have a lot of confidence over Port Adelaide. Yeah, Port Adelaide's going to have to shake that off and forget about it.
Lee, quick last thought from you.
Think about the next game, cool down, think about the next game. Nothing to get out of that.
Well, a wacky, wild, and something you'll probably never see again here at West Beach in a game like this. It's a 16 competition. And of course, my commentators, Kathy Lambert and Lee Hull. I'm Eric Ballnar, and thank you very much for joining us wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time.